Never fucking with that lane, we'll be riding in the mist, nah. Like I'm riding with your bitch, got a tens in me pocket in a bottle full of drinks, 5 racks in the bank, put it all up on me wrist. Never fucking with that lane, we'll be riding in the mist, nah. Nighttime and I'm creeping through the mansion. Black gems on me neck, stay dancing. Beds hit me limestone, kill stop constant. Backstage crash, cause I'm young and I'm handsome. Got long black hair like an emo. Drugs all white albino. Rolling the walls and a filler with the green, bro. Ice on me next day, cold sub-zero. Members only, you won't make it on the guest list. Shout out, make the crowd think I'm reckless. Chrome on the wrist, check penner for the necklace. Young scouts, kid, nigga, sound like I'm from Texas. Rockin' like a star, cold for breakfast. Cartier necklace, cush, I'm obsessed with it. Outside, I'm a poster with the members. Pat landed, telling all kid don't mess with it. We got tons of different flavors, we love getting in. Came in a rave, pop pills, and I'm settling. Only 18, they was killing, but I get him in. Beef, no, I keep the metal in my hand like wedding ring. 10 girls on my body, I'm feeling rich today. 10 girls on my body, my girl gon' crash out. Put wire in my city, it turns to crack out. My girl still gets there when the test not box off in the trap out. He's lit, but I ain't clocking him. All I'm done, stand up, just clocking it.
Meal number 4 or 5 for the day. Tortillas, these are the low carb ones. If you guys caught that full day eating video, these are the ones. 1 gram of net carbs per tortilla, 80 calories. Get out the way. All right, and as usual, our trusty food scale. I'm gonna zero this guy out. Meal's protein calls for some steak. We got 6 ounces from hummus here, pre-cooked, ready to go. See how close we can get to 6 ounces. This will probably be just over 6.1, good enough. If I really wanted to get creative, I could pick up some lettuce the next time I'm at the grocery store just to give it a little more volume, but the only thing I really want is a little extra flavor. So we got this little 10-calorie salsa verde. Just a bit of that. Really, I think the whole technique is like you fold it over and you fold, I don't know, that kind of looks good. Professional enough, not leaking out the bottom. That's about as elaborate as I get with this meal, so I'm gonna enjoy this. So that's it, man. Another day in the process. Real good leg session with Vaughn today. Just controlled intensity and like being present in it. Now, I'll circle back to that because I wanted to touch on that. But as far as the meals, you saw that was meal 4 or 5. Again, I was reading through the comments on a full day of eating I posted not too long ago. You know, some of you were rocking with it and some of you seemed a little, you know, some people's comments, I should say, were, I think, a little surprised at maybe the monotony of it, maybe the lack of variety. You know, it's the same thing every day. The focus of it, like you saw with this meal, is putting things in your diet that make it easy for you to get the result. You want the least resistance, the easiest path. You know, it's like why swim upstream if you can get to your destination swimming downstream, right? So all those little analogies go to say, just make it easy on yourself. If you're gonna set up a new routine, you're trying to lock in a little bit more with your nutrition. All right, if it took me 30 minutes or 40 minutes to prepare this meal, it's gonna make it a lot harder on the days that, you know, other things are going on in life and you know, it's a little chaotic. Then all of a sudden it becomes easy to miss this meal. And then maybe because I missed this meal, I'm eating my next meal and trying to make up for the calories and maybe snacking on something I shouldn't be, this and that. And then all of a sudden, you know, weeks go by and I'm like, wow, I'm off plan. My calories are off. My macros have been off. Versus, okay, it's easy. It takes a couple minutes to prepare. Even on days when I got a lot going on, you know, it doesn't feel like a massive task, especially when you're trying to eat a lot of meals. The key is, you know, either keep them simple, prep them ahead of time. You know, at the end of the day, do what you got to do to ensure that you stick to the plan. And that's what it's about. What was the quote, man? All right, there was a quote I had written down when I was doing cardio, and I was like, I want to circle back to that and end this video on a good thought. The quote's simple: I get all my confidence from the work I put in. And man, that's it. Especially when, you know, we talk about like the intentionality behind training and your nutrition. Like, it doesn't have to be preparing for a show, but just building, you know, kind of that internal confidence. You know, you have your list of things to do each day, whether, you know, work, training, meals, relationships, people you're responsible for, things you're responsible for, right? And you can approach that and say, okay, I got to, you know, I have to do this, or you're like, all right, I get to do each of these, and I'm gonna bring kind of my best self, bring the highest level of intentionality, if that makes sense, to each task. And, you know, circling back to like the training session with Vaughn and I, you know, we're very present in that session. Yeah, he's got stuff going on, businesses he's managing, you know, his own personal life. I've got my own businesses I'm managing, my personal life. But at the end of the day, we're both going to that gym, you know, whatever set we're on. The best sessions happen when, you know, each set, each rep, nothing else matters. You're intentional with what you're doing and you're fully present in what you're doing. And I think, you know, we all know that, I think, but all of us need reminded that, you know, including myself, is okay, especially on those days where, you know, you're a little bit stressed out, things are pulling at you. Not to say those things aren't real, but, you know, you might have a stressful situation going on in one aspect of your life, but if you're letting that affect your training, all right, now you got 2 stressful situations going on, because you got the actual stress and then the fact that you're letting it leak into, you know, the other areas. So, as best you can. At least I try to remind myself, compartmentalize what's in front of me right now is what deserves all the focus. And, when I move past that and I'm ready to tackle the next thing, whatever it is, then that gets the focus and the planning and whatnot. So just, maybe a little reminder, maybe for myself, maybe for one of you. What's cool is, at least for me, especially when I'm in I get in like a little bit of a funk for a minute, it almost rewires the way I think, because then I go, I start almost being grateful to be in the process, to be able to do the different things, I'm working on throughout the day, even if they're difficult, even if it's not something you necessarily want to have to deal with. It's like, okay, I sectioned out this time to deal with it. Now I'm dealing with it. It's like, all right, you can almost appreciate that struggle, appreciate, what, like when you're frustrated, you're building patience. When you're stressed, you're building resilience. So, if you're present in it, even in the struggle, even in the tough moments, I think there's good things to be gained. What else is there, man? Trying to really dial in my programming, the programming for you guys who are on the training app as well. Shoot, if you haven't jumped into the app or given it a shot, I'll leave a link in the video where you can go to the URL. You get a week free, and you can still shoot me a direct message in there, even if you're like, yeah, I'm on my own training program, but I'm curious to pick his brain on this about diet, or this about training, or this about this movement. Once you're in the app, even on the trial, you can shoot me a direct message in there, and I enjoy talking with you guys, enjoy answering questions, and man, hearing about some of your stories, man, that fires me up to see. That's what it's about. So keep pushing, man. We got another good week ahead. Whatever comes our way, we're gonna make it a good week. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.